Alright, I'm going to try and hold the camera as still as possible because the gimbal simply won't fit in here. This assembly here is the governor. It's operated by oil pressure, and what the governor does is keep a constant RPM with the engine. So that the electrical power generated by the generator head stays constant. The measurement between here and here is wrong. This little ball fitting in here is in the wrong spot. The measurement here between the bottom of the head of the bolt and the top of the nut is wrong, and the throttle bell crank has been installed backwards. So I'm going to straighten all that out and get this thing tuned up right, and we'll go to the tech manual. This right now, between the center of this ball, and you'll see what it looks like when I take this arm off, and the center of this ball is 3.5. It needs to be 3 5/8 inches. So it's going to take some tinkering, and we're going to get this thing straightened out. Be right back. Alright, we're looking at TM11-940 War Department Technical Manual, Power Unit PE197. This is a copy of the original War Department, 5 September 1944 it says. It reads, actually. And I was looking for the governor adjustments in the manual, and I just kept overlooking, and I called a friend who guided me to page 22. And at the top of the page, lo and behold, governor adjustment. Now back on page 19, figure 10, we have the illustration governor adjustment. And here we can see at this point to this point should be 3 5/8. And then we can see that the bell crank right here is on correctly in the illustration. And we can see the upper hole on the bell crank. So we're going to have to get this all tuned up and fixed. And the instructions here, I don't know if that'll come through, but you can pause that and give that a read. I'm going to be following those, and what I'll do is I'll try and get the camera set up right here somehow so you guys can watch the whole thing unfold. And it's on top of one of the jerry cans, and I'll do my best not to knock the camera off. So be right back. Alright, so I've gathered a few tools necessary to begin this exercise, and I have the camera precariously wedged between, or in the handle of one of my jerry cans. I can't get it to point lower, so this assembly down here is going to be a little difficult to watch, but it takes the least amount of adjustment. So let's go. We got a 5 3/8 and a 7/16. Oh, not good. That was already loose. Okay, so off comes that, and I will be unscrewing the set screw. That's good. Oh, that doesn't need a whole lot of pressure to hold the bell crank in place. Excellent. That slid right off there. Okay. So we can see, turn it over. Let me get this out of the way. That's closed. Okay, so open, closed. Oh, look at that. I didn't know there was a set screw back there. Way in the back here, there's a screw that operates the throttle. So this is the butterfly rod that opens the butterfly in the updraft carburetor, and this belt crank slides on here, and here's the lower hole. So let's change that right now. It's going to be a little fiddly. But I think I can do it. Oh yeah, it's not very tight, which is good. You always hear me talk about things don't need to be gorilla tight. I just happen to have a 7/16 inch socket here. So the big thing is not only to take it off, but to turn it around, put it in the lower hole. Ooh. Somebody might complain about that. Get that out of the lower hole. That's not nice. Anyway. All right. That's better. And now I have to make it so the distance between these 2 points is 3 5/8 inches. Not sure I like that cotter pin there, but we'll live with it for now. Okay, that means wow. Okay, good. All right, stand fast, gotta grab the tape measure. I hope I don't get demonetized for that mourning dove that's in the tree above me. Hopefully YouTube will recognize it's a bird without a recording contract or a patent on its voice. Okay. So, time to read things upside down. So I'm going to burn an inch. Wow, that's even less. It's like 3 7/16. Somebody replaced this all thread with right-handed threads. There should be a right-hand thread and a left-hand thread so that one side or the other can be removed and then lengthened or shortened appropriately. So we'll see what we have here. We got a little over 3.5. I'm going to have to unloosen the left side. 3 9/16. So I'm going to set this jam nut. It doesn't have to be Gorilla tight again. Okay. And I'm going to loosen this one. Okay. Let's get our measurement again. So we're at 3 9/16. Three 5/8 full. Let's come back one complete turn. So we're still a little full. Let's try another complete turn. Three 5/8. So I will tighten this jam nut. Give it just a bit of a snug to hold everything in place. And then this can go back together. Liking this cotter pin there. So that's wide open, that's fully closed. reach in here and set the throttle in the closed position. And then, yikes, how am I going to get to that screw to tighten that down? All right, time out. All right, it's a tough angle, but I got the flat blade screwdriver tip out of my 4-in-1, and I need a smaller wrench. Just a moment. All right, so I have the tip out of my 4-in-1 and a 5/16 inch wrench fits on it perfectly, and hopefully that will do the job. Okay, that's snug. Now we're going to get it just a bit more snug. Perfect. Let's check the measurement. I'm going to burn 1 inch, 3 5/8. I know it says 4 5/8. But I burned 1 inch. So we're at 3 5/8. Now, yeah, I gotta get my magnetic antenna. There's a little clip fell down in the bilge, and I got it. That goes to the choke. Yep, there we go. This will be fiddly too. I can't believe I did that easily. Alright, let me see if I can adjust the camera down. Oh, look at that. Perfect. So now we're going to work on this adjustment here. We are at 3/8 of an inch. So I know that I need to loosen these two bolts here at the bottom. And I know that I need to loosen this gem nut. I'm looking at the tech manual right now, let me come back. Alright, let's take a look here. I was looking at I paused the video so I could look at the tech manual. So if we look at this slot down in here at the end of my pencil, we can see there's a lot of space between it and the forward nut bolt. So I've loosened the jam nut considerably, and what the tech manual shows is that this assembly here, this slide, needs to go toward the radiator. Let's take a look at the manual picture. And we can see here's the same slide, and there's more space between, or yeah, behind the rear jam nut and the slide. And this is what the orientation of this bolt and jam nut looks like. It doesn't give any measurements, but it does say caution, never set this adjusting screw so that the no load speed is raised above 1830 RPM or 61 cycles. So I'm going to adjust that so it looks, you know, I just moved the trailer again by hand so that the sun wouldn't glare, and look what we had back. Anyway, I'm complaining about the sun in a place that doesn't get sun a lot. Anyway. And we can see we're getting more space down in here and less space up front. Okay, I'm going to fire this thing up, but off camera, so that I can worry about controlling the engine. I'll be back. Alright, so I've been running it for a little while. You see my temperature is up 160. In earlier videos I was fighting with the thermostat that did not work ultimately. And I have the main vent open, and this data plate here says open the vent to regulate heat or engine temperature, and today is still pretty warm. So the governor is responding. It's sticking though, so I'm gonna fire it up and let's see if I can get this thing on the pedestal. On the gimbal. Be right back.